Gentlemen, we go back to where it is that we started. Like I said, we have Njuguna Mwangi on board and PMG Kamau. And as we were looking at the papers, I guess, well, sometimes it gets to guide us in as much as maybe it's a conversation what we seek to have. And I want us to start on this note because we really do not have much of time. The Sagana meeting, that is the third one, as of course convened, as called for by President Uhuru Kenyatta. And in a way, the question that is being asked on the People Daily is why President Uhuru Kenyatta locked out members of parliament, some members of parliament for that matter, and as many would say, they're allied to the Deputy President William Ruto, and a different conversation altogether on the Daily Nation. We reject Raila members of parliament, tell Uhuru. It's actually not a different conversation because this culminated from the letter that they wrote to President Uhuru Kenyatta. We have the letter and the details of the letters, was just speaking of what it is that they feel the people of Mount Kenya would need, and also complaining of the fact that, it's been a game of tyranny in the political world today because most of the times they play the monopoly game. They are not allowed a chance to speak out and also, just advise the president of the things that need to be addressed. A different one, Uhuru Ruto allies clash on Sagana. Actually, it's not a different one. It's still the same story. And so, gentlemen, we have been following up on this, and people are excited to hear what it is that the president has in store. And so I'd start with you, Njuguna, just to hear your view on the same, and we get to understand how instrumental is this meeting going to be for the president to salvage the Mount Kenya region.
You see, Madam Leader, this meeting has been called by His Excellency the President.
Yeah.
And of course, he is the one who has the objective, the agenda of the meeting.
Yes.
He also holds he has the responsibility of inviting whom he wants to invite.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to say, from where I stand, I don't take this thing as a Mount Kenya meeting per se.
Okay.
It is just a meeting of those people who I would say who are actually buying into the idea of onto the agenda of the BBI and such.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
The only difference is that they have changed the venue from Nairobi State House to Sagana State House, and I don't understand why people are really so much hyped about this meeting. This is just a normal meeting because
is it so? Is it just a normal meeting?
We have had the Sagana one and all those
2 and 3. This is the third.
This is the third one. The first one and the second ones, so many memorandums were shared, were discussed, and were given to the president. A lot of issues were raised by readers. But even today, until today, we still don't see much happening on the ground. Mm-hmm. So this time round, people thought that the Sagana meeting would be now to build bridges between the president and those people, those dissenting voices.
Well, is it true, PMG? That's just look.
But when you look at
yes.
at the invitation, those people who are claiming to have been invited and those who have not been invited, you realize that it's the same thing that has been happening all around. Mm-hmm. We have heard those people who have been singing the Lega song. There are those who have not been doing the same. So they have invited those people who are pro BBI.
All right, PMG, do you agree that really this is just a meeting like any other, and really there is no cause for alarm or reason for people to read so much into what is expected to culminate from that into what it is that the president has decided to take as a direction in terms of choosing the members of parliament that he will invite and others locking them out, looking at the kind of politics that we are playing in the nation today?
Thank you. I have been passionate about the Hardship.
Yes.
And also the BBI. Mm-hmm. To start with, I did not write the Hardship, and actually asked one question. Mm-hmm. Somebody is cheating one another. Oh. Either Uhuru is cheating Raila. Or Raila is cheating.
Or
I also said that both Uhuru and Raila have got the most difficult task, managing the expectations. When you shake hands, being major protagonists in a national election with margin win against the other, then the Luos thought it is our time now to enter the government.
Okay.
Now the Kalenjin thought we are now going to be kicked out. Then the Kikuyus started asking, where are we? You see, that was the most difficult task. From the handshake onwards at the BBI, if you listened across Central Province and across the leadership, including the members of Parliament, those in Kiwereweke and those in Tagatanga, they continued asking, where is the president to give us direction? Yeah. The major key issue was, where is the president to give us direction on handshake and on BBI?
And so this meeting is the president coming to give direction? Yes.
In the political reaction that came from the handshake was almost tribal by any standards. The expectation was almost tribal. I said, I would, if I were to advise the president, he must not comment. Why? Article 131 of the Constitution is a symbol of unity. That is going, if the Central Province leaders continued asking, who is giving us direction? I asked them, who is giving the Wakambas direction? Who is giving the Ruyas direction? Who is giving the Ruos direction? Who is giving the Kukupe? Why can't you close yourself in a house? As a community, the worst enemy for Central Kenya people are themselves. People who they represent tribes. For heaven's sake, when did they are Nikama Mafia Zero. You know what I mean?
What is that?
When this monkey goes to the toilet, you can't point it out. Because it's drinking in the air. Yani, they are divided so heavily, you cannot trace them. As a community, we have therefore failed to meet together. What they continued saying was that, where is the president to give us direction? If the president did at that early times, it would have been the president versus other communities. Then I went ahead and said, let the president allow Ruto to fight it out with Raila. Because if he came in the fray, that would have been the most dangerous thing. In fact, January 2020, Alice Muthoni Wahome, my member of parliament in Kandara, who stole votes from me, went in January and brought in the president. In fact, she said the president is worse than Ruto and is the cause of country's problem. Then I wonder, Alice, you have done your first mistake. You have brought in the president in the battle. So the president at one time will be forced to take sides.
But he's actually, a leader from the Mt.Kenya region. So whether he likes it or not, he's within the battle for sure. When I know he's a symbol of unity and the leader of the nation.
At what stage?
Yes.
Is he going to be the leader? It is at this stage. It would have been worse if it was.
All right, and so him picking up on several individuals and leaving out the others is also a good thing.
Yeah. Sagana is where he meets his community men and women.
Yes.
You cannot deny him that right. He will not be a leader. Because to become the president of Kenya, he was first of all a Kikuyu. To be the president of Kenya, first of all depended from the boss of the Kikuyu. So he has got the responsibility to advise.
Wait a minute. This is why I'm saying. PMG. Wait a minute, PMG. George Theuri, Moses Kirema, Beatrice Nkadha, Faith Getau, Kimani Ichung'wah, Alice Wahome, your own member of parliament, James Gakuya, Patrick Mariru, 41 members of parliament coming to the president crying foul for being locked out of this. Is he
if I was Kimani Gojiri and I'm invited, I will not go. If I was Kimani Ichung'wah and I'm invited,
you think so?
I will not go. Why? I'm already. I am not.
You're taking a different direction.
I am not with the president. So why should I attend his meeting? Why? You see what this is where the country is going wrong. You are creating a situation where you're going to demonize the president.
Hold it right there.
That's why you see what I'm saying.
Yes.
Why are you worried? You are not with him. if they are going to discuss BBI.
So in this case, who should be worried? Because the president has the interest of probably culminating from that letter, trying to get his people back, trying to send the message of the BBI back to his people. And these are instrumental leaders, like you started by saying.
Yes.
So locking them out, will it not be an undoing for the president?
You see, last time we agreed with the PMG that he will still be giving the son a chance to reply, or to talk.
Okay.
Now, I want to go back to the same statement that I started with.
Okay.
You see, the president actually knows the agenda of the meeting.
Yes, he does. And you do not want to say, analysts here coming to say that we all do not know what the president wants to say. And I agree. That is possible. So, but we can almost look at the situation.
Yes, the agenda.
Yes.
No, but let's agree
He's
here.
not going to discuss wheelbarrow.
That's
What I was just saying.
You think he's going to talk about wheelbarrow?
The president,
let's allow
this is President Uhuru Kenyatta's meeting.
Yes.
And he knows the agenda.
So we should see
and
and wait
what he has invited for the same agenda.
Okay.
So from the way it is now, if you look at those who have been invited versus those who have not been invited, it is simply clear that he is not coming to resolve issues that are affecting Mt.Kenya region. He is coming to meet the people who are singing and who are loyal to the song, who have tuned in to the reggae song, the reggae music of BBI.
Okay.
Because if he was coming,
what are the issues in Central Kenya?
If the president was coming to resolve issues of Mt.Kenya region,
what are the issues in Central Kenya?
He would have called all the leaders, the representatives of the people.
What are the issues?
And if the president was equally coming to discuss matters BBI, then he probably would have mixed with other leaders from the other parts of the nation.
The question is, why not invite the other leaders? You know, all those 41 members of parliament and the MPs and the National Assembly members and the senators have just been locked out because of one thing. They
do not support the BBI.
Yeah, and they do not. They are telling the president the real issues. Like,
are they telling him the real issues?
Actually, when they realize that they have not been invited,
what are the real issues?
The real issues are we have problems with our agriculture sector.
Yeah.
We have challenges with our tea sector. We have problems.
Have you read the BBI?
We know what is happening.
Forget about the BBI. Forget about the BBI. Gentlemen, before we even go to the BBI, let's look at this document. Let's look at this letter that was sent to the president. And they have pinpointed key issues. A 13-paged letter speaking of the fact that the president has overlooked them for quite a while, but all the same they do not cease to represent their people, and so they are going to present these cases to the president as they hope that the president will address these cases. A couple of them we might not be able to go through. The political assassinations that have been witnessed. They have talked about the succession management. They have talked about Raila Odinga. They have talked about political persecution of leaders. They have talked about politics of deceit and betrayal, guaranteed minimum returns for the people. They have talked about economic ruin, development agenda, and all these things.
So you see, those are the issues that are affecting Wananchi. And I'm telling you this right now. PMG, you have to listen to me. That's why you are missing the point. I'm saying Mt.Kenya people are not interested with the executive expansion and all that.
Then why are they fighting the BBI?
What the people are interested in is to see challenges that have been affecting them all those years being resolved. And we had a very, very high hope with the President Uhuru Kenyatta.
Yes.
And that is why we hoped that he is going to deal with the challenges that have been, the cartels that have been ruining the sector.
Do you want to tell me that the leaders that have been invited are probably not telling the president this? And do you want to speak of a scenario where, because these leaders right here are members that allied to the Deputy President William Ruto, so are you trying to say that in this proposal, and when we're looking at 2022 where President Uhuru Kenyatta will honorably exit the stage, we hope, then they'll probably address these issues for the people?
You see, the glue that holds these 41 members of parliament together is not William Ruto.
Okay.
It is the challenges that are affecting Mt.Kenya.
Is it so?
And that is why you have been seeing something here.
Young man.
That is why you have been seeing
PMJ.
Read John chapter 9
of the
and
Bible.
chapter 10 of the Bible. Jesus Christ says, I am the good shepherd.
Yes.
My sheep know my voice, and I know my voice. I am the good shepherd. I lead them towards the good pastures, the green pastures.
The green pastures.
And quiet, cool water. The shepherd leads the sheep
Yes.
The sheep are reading shepherds. You know what is happening in Kenya? Do you know what's happening in central Kenya?
Okay.
Watu wanasema nini? If you are going, you are read because you are above them. You are read because you have more, you can read them. You cannot continue saying watu wanasema hii, watu wanasema hii.
But don't you think that these leaders speak for the people? Are they not speaking for the people?
You see, where is your mind? Number one, this public have not accessed the BBI. That's a major drawback. Two, they have given the training of informing the public to the members of parliament. 80% have always been rejected. In central Kenya, they know they are not coming back unless they come back through euphoria.
Exactly. So,
the euphoria now, see, my friend, I will be going for parliamentary seat in 2022.
Okay.
But I'm not cheap-minded.
Yes.
Intellectual aborted or intellectual dishonesty.
Okay.
I have to tell the people the truth, whether they elect me or not. That is not what
are you telling them the truth right now? Do you think that what it is that these leaders are raising are not the concerns of the people of Mount Kenya?
Because the Mount Kenya region, the people, as I have told you, it started with demonizing the BBI.
Yes.
And it concentrated on the premiership. It has not gone to the issues inside the BBI. That's why I'm calling it intellectual dishonesty. You see,
Irungu Kangata's letter highlighted what it is.
I was in one station.
Yes.
And I said, dear leaders of Central Kenya, this weekend, don't talk about the premiership. Talk about another agenda inside the BBI. Because every time, Ruto was on the ground. Raila was on the ground. Did they talk about what is the content of
But of what interest these leaders have to demonize the BBI, knowing very well that this is something that is said to benefit their people?
Because they listened to the wave.
Okay.
Even Kangata listened to the wave. And he said it. He wants to become...
These are made of stature and
he has got a PhD, my friend.
I want to support
a PhD.
Exactly. So why would he listen to the wave? Why would he listen to the wave?
Why would he not talk the truth?
All right, let's allow Njuguna to come in.
There is something I want us to be very clear
about that. Why?
Allow him to say something.
Let me just support you that we need to go into details of the BBI.
Yes.
And let me tell you,
the MPs not teach it. They are sided.
At this time, we are not.
They have no capacity.
Allow him to say. Allow him.
You have listened to all those rallies that leaders of the Tanga and the rest, the Hasra team have been talking about. They have always said, in fact, even the Deputy President William Ruto has always said that sisi hatuna shida na hizo vitu zenu mnasema.
Kwa hivyo wana shida na nini?
Hatuna shida na hizo vitu zenu za Prime Minister.
Wana shida na nini?
Ile shida tuko nayo ni kama tunaongea kuhusu hizo viti, hata mambo ya Wajiko yule ambaye
iko ndani mambo ya
Wajiko. And are you convinced that they mean that?
Give me time.
You see,
so PMG, let's have some order. Let's have some order. He has a right to.
Why would Ruto say
the problem is
this book has got a good thing?
You'll have your time.
Let us talk issues, not personality.
Yes.
Listen here. I'm saying we have challenges.
PMG, let's have some order.
We have challenges that we are pointing out. I mean, personally, I'm not in any of those things that PMG is saying, the Taga and Jereweke. I'm a Kenyan, and well, this is what I'm now saying. One of the major challenges that we have seen with the BBI, if we allow the BBI amendment to go through, the problem with Wajiko is the burden that we are going to be, that will be put
Which
on
burden?
Wajiko has the burden.
And this is the burden. And this is the burden. Yes. We are already overburdened, and that's why you saw the Akula Occult proposals. Where the Mwananchi was very happy with those proposals.
Hold it right there. The Secretary General of Third Way Alliance is one person that I host almost every other week, and he says that now that was quashed, they took some few things that were incorporated in that particular document and presented it to the task force, and they are happy that about 15, 18 or something thereabout has been incorporated. And today he's a proponent of the BBI.
That is why you need to understand that Wananchi do not care what the leaders are saying.
Okay.
They never supported the Third Way Alliance because of their leaders. They supported because of the content. Even the BBI, we are saying it is going to add the burden because we are not ready.
Third Way Alliance is supporting BBI.
We are not here. I'm saying we did not support the Third Way Alliance. We supported the document they had presented.
Yes.
So even if they say the BBI is good, we cannot say it is good because they are saying.
They say,
listen,
but they think the issues that were.
This is where we are talking
Also,
about the burden.
Give me a
Look at this.
Okay.
Give me
One,
a
the
chance.
BBI is telling us that we need to add the number of constituencies. So we are going to add 70 new members of parliament.
Yes.
And then it fails to address the challenges that we have been having all through of that gender rule. And they say that after we have voted, then to ensure that we meet the third gender rule, we are going to nominate the gender that is not that we do not have in the Senate or in the National Assembly. Yeah. So from 290 members of parliament plus the nominated ones, we now have 349 members of parliament.
Okay. Yes,
after the BBI has passed, we are going to have 360 members of parliament elected, and then we add, if assuming that we have 360 members of parliament being men, and that's an assumption, it means we have to nominate 180 women in parliament.
If we have all this and we kill corruption and we have service as expected, will it be a burden?
Look at this. Remember, members of these nominated slots are not coming with anything to Ajiku. And we have seen this from history. Nominated members, most of the parties have been nominating their girlfriends and such. So
right.
we expect,
let me talk now.
We expect to see, actually we have been having a bloated parliament already.
Okay.
And we have been looking for a way in which we can reduce this number of members of parliament. We cannot keep on carrying the burden of these people.
All right.
Now we again go ahead.
Let's allow
We go ahead and expand the executive. And we bring other positions like the prime minister and the deputy prime minister with their own office. Remember, it's not just one person.
And it goes all the way to the county. All right.
Number one.
Okay.
Remove the name of Raila from Central Kenya.
Okay.
Remove the name of Ruto from Central Kenya.
Why do you say so?
Remove the name of Uhuru from Central Kenya.
Okay.
Because they are not cited in the BBI. Number one, BBI talks about inclusivity. I want to tell you something on the face. Kikuyus have been excluded since Moi era. How excluded are the Kikuyus? Kiambu, Roiro have got, the whole of Kiambu have got 2.5 million people. 3 counties in Northeastern have got 2.5 million votes, where people. Kiambu is getting 10 billion revenue sharing. The 3 counties in Northeastern are getting 34 billion. Roiro have got 200,000 votes. They are getting 100 million shillings in CDF. Duare has got 20,000 votes. He's getting 100 million votes. Parliament is a room for voting. Decisions are made through voting.
Yes.
What happened to Senate when we went for revenue sharing ratio in Central Kenya?
They argue that they were
when we went for Asagana 1, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta told us that he is for 1 man, 1 vote, 1 shilling. It was defeated in Senate. Why was it defeated? Because we are very poorly represented.
Is it so?
Alice Wahome,
who is well represented in Senate?
Alice Muthoni Wahome.
What community is well?
Listen, Alice Muthoni Wahome has got, we have got Kandara 100,000 votes. That is 1 vote. Duare has got 20,000 votes. That is 1,000 votes. If you have to talk about equality, we should have 4 members of parliament.
All right.
Yes. That is inclusivity.
Yes.
Then we come to devolution. Devolution, the limit is 15%.
Yeah.
He should read the constitution properly. All issues changing the formula has to go to referendum. Every decision in the constitution that is the constitution. It must be passed by the
referendum.
Yes. So for this 15 to 35% and 5% to the locations, it has to be approved by the referendum. It doesn't matter that there is no money. The argument is that there is no money.
Yes,
there is problems.
And we have the same leaders.
When you've got your farm, you plant and put manure waiting for the rain to rain. Sometimes you plant and the rain does not come. What would happen to you? Would you wait for the rain to prepare the ground?
You prepare in advance.
Yes.
Right.
That's what.
So in this case, then it's preparation in advance.
Yeah. I told you.
We have to balance the conversation, gentlemen, because time is not on our side.
It's not on our side.
And I think it's only fair that we balance it.
Then you come to equity and equality. Then you come to sharing of wealth and resources. That is what Ruto said it is the best. 11A. Then you come to equality and equity sharing of in the proposed amendments. Article 203 of the Constitution is merged with 43 of the Constitution. Article 43 of the Constitution talks about right to economic and social rights.
Yes.
Right to be engaged. And then this money now coming to the country must be secularized and circulated to you, reader, so that you can enjoy your economic rights. Then over the biggest burden of unemployment of the youth. The entrance to the economy is through the Juakari.
Yes.
You come to the university, you are buying a bike. You come from the university, you go to Juakari. You want to start hawking. Yani, the informal sector has become key. Madam, it makes 14 million people now in the formal sector. They contribute 40% of GDP. 22% of income is from that end. If Kenyans, they employ people 10 today, 9 are from the informal sector.
Okay,
that has been catered for in the BBI, business incubation and creation of fund for the proposals.
Many have questioned that, and PMG, you'll agree with me that the mechanisms are the key things that people question
today.
Not the
mechanism. Let me tell you.
Add on that.
Just
make it 1 minute, and then he comes
in. The Constitution is a policy document. From there, it will go to Parliament for registration. Do you know what I have done as a person? Are you aware I have given Parliament 15 point of approval?
Okay.
Yes, I have forwarded to the 340 members of Parliament, stop talking in the churches and funerals. Go to Parliament. I have given 14-point agendas which are within the BBI.
And
so that they discuss. This nonsense about to be meeting, I have told them, number one,
now, PMG, allow him
if we are borrowing money,
it is only fair that he speaks and then we come to you.
Now, let me add that.
You know why I wanted to speak? Because these people are misleading the nation.
He has a right to state his argument, not really mislead. State his argument, because there are people who subscribe to this argument.
I have got a right now.
You need to understand that it's instrumental.
I have got a right to quote, to accuse all members of Parliament under Article 35 of the Constitution.
So
because right to information. If you give me wrong information as a member of a public,
do you proceed to do that then for the sake of the people who have no idea of this, the existence of this?
I know they will not obey, but I can go to court.
Because
they are giving wrong information. You cannot continue talking about
allow Joguna to come in.
And you're not talking about what is inside.
All right.
Intellectual hypocrisy.
Joguna come in.
PMG, let PMG take the members of Parliament to court. Me, I'm not a member of Parliament.
I also take you.
Let us now go.
No, interpretations are different, and that's why people proceed to court to seek interpretation of a different statement.
The problem we have, Madam Leader, is
why should somebody allow them to continue misleading Kenyans?
These people who are pro-BBI and the Kieleweke side, of which I'm not party to.
Who told you I'm a Kieleweke?
What they do, they believe, they have a belief that anybody
allows you a chance to speak, PMG.
They believe that anybody who is questioning a few things in BBI are opposing the BBI. I want to be very clear that I have no problem with the BBI report I have problems with some key recommendations.
Yeah.
And at the moment, what I am against is the amendment bill. Remember, we have a report and we have an amendment bill. And that is the one that we are just about to be taken to referendum. With these reasons. One thing, as PMG has just talked about representation, we all agree, especially in Mt.Kenya, that
we are
underrepresented. But we need to understand the solution. We have to go look for the solution that is the cheapest.
Yes.
Remember, Article 89 of our Constitution gives that mandate to the IEBC to do boundaries, to do delimitation and all that. And what we are expecting is that by the end of this year, according to the calendar of the IEBC, we are going to have new boundaries.
Members of Parliament are
look at this.
By the Constitution.
But you see, remember even those constituencies like the Lafi constituency in, I think in Lafi, Mandela,
yes,
which has only 14,000 voters. It is also going to be affected by the delimitation current that will be done by the IEBC. So we do not need to go for the referendum to check the representation. The other thing that people are keeping on misleading Kenyans is about the shared prosperity. The Article 11A that has been introduced there does not talk about what we have always been told about the guaranteed minimum return. It does not talk about 1 man, 1 vote, 1 shilling. What it talks about that anybody who is engaged with a particular activity must reap something from that. But it is just left blank like that. Why, instead of going to referendum, why don't we take charge and take advantage of the bills that have been taken to Parliament, like for example, Honorable Dede Nyolo, who took to a bill in Parliament about GMR, guaranteed minimum return. Why don't we take advantage of that? If we talk about, others are talking about the word fund that has been given to the Kenya, to the MCAs. And that's a very good thing. But the question is, do we need to waste money, public resources, doing a referendum when our own Senator Irongo Kangata already has a bill in the Senate to help us have the one
you anything for evolution must go to
referendum.
Gentlemen, yes.
Remember, the only thing that needs to go to referendum is the one of talking about minimum 15%. Minimum 15% to the counties has to go to the referendum to push it to 35%.
Even
5%.
But the current constitution tells us clearly that the national revenue, 15% minimum, has to go to
all the way to.
So we don't need to go for referendum to make it 35%. Even today, we don't use 15%. They have always been giving more than 15%.
Gentlemen,
so we don't need
that is the reason why we have to look at the BBI like we have did. And that is what we wanted to do today. But then again, yes, I'll have it on my screen.
When somebody
going through it.
When the generators are shouting too much,
let me tell you something.
Then we are talking the truth. In fact, we are losing it. You have to conclude it in 30 seconds.
Anyone who wants very many wives, he will say the Bible arouse. He will quote Abraham, he will quote David, he will quote Solomon. To defeat one woman, one man. Is what I mean. Anyone who wants to drink, he will say Jesus Christ created wine in Cana of Galilee.
He said, drink a little for the stomach's sake.
Somebody was told, drink a little. These people are looking for everything. When you don't want anything, you look for the cheapest.
Is it not for the same reason that the proponents are also looking for every reason to make people buy into this?
That's what I told you.
Let's go through the
now
documents.
He has misrepresented 11A. 11A is a policy document.
I have it here.
Yes.
Let us read it.
No, we cannot read it now. Can we promise each other to go through that?
Let me clear. It talks about agriculture. There is no avocado there. There is no orange there. There are no cows there. What is wrong with you? There has to be an act of Parliament.
Exactly. Can we all agree that everyone should get that copy?
The act is created from the Constitution.
I'm giving a crossing remark. I am saying this. We do not have problem with the whole BBI
30 seconds.
report.
Yeah.
The only thing that we are saying is this is not the right time.
With whom?
This is not the right time for referendum.
Because it's not the right time.
Because
time is
the
what it is that they
the
question, by
challenges
the
we
way.
have. As we talk now, we are talking about the public debt, which is too high.
But many have
So
asked,
as we talk,
is there going to
this is not
a
the
good
right
time?
Is
the right time ever going to come?
Madam, if
What
they
we are
vote
saying
no,
is,
we still will have spent money.
Okay, anyway, what we are saying is
Banana.
that if we pass it now, what will happen is that we have to go back now to the
Madam,
to the
Raila
borrowing.
and Ruto
We have
nothing to give.
Why don't
If
you,
Libya is
can't
not
you
passed.
allow me to make the final remarks?
Raila and Ruto, you have nothing to
Thank
give.
you. Thank you so much,
until
PMG Kamau.
Libya is
Thank
passed.
you so much, Jogona Mwangi, all governance experts. Unfortunately, we
But
probably
next
have
time,
not winded up on a very good note.
I think we need to have people who can moderate. You know, now the PMG is taking advantage of his age because he will
No,
take me
today
to
you
elders.
cannot allow
he
it
shouted
that-
more than me.
He know he will take
Who
me to
shouted
elders
more?
if I shout at him.
Who shouted
and I can't
more?
do that. So
Gentlemen,
next time,
thank you so
let
much.
us
Yes, who's on
let us have
standby?
another young person, and then PMG give him another old one so that they can discuss that.
We're going to have you and PMG next time for
right.
sure, and we'll look at the BBI.
What is
Then I
inside
will,
the BBI?
then I will talk to elders.
That is what I said.
Yes, that is what we were supposed to do today. It's just that the Sagana thing came on board.
I expected
and
we shall
problem is,
go one
he is
item by
we have it. Time is not on our side.
He's misrepresenting facts, and he doesn't want to give the Kenyans to understand the reality on
Okay,
the BBI.
well, thank you so much, gentlemen. Thank you so much, gentlemen. While they have gone through the documents, PMG, while you have
340 members of parliament,
PMG, I
what to discuss?
now allow me the time to speak. For some reasons, they have gone through what it is that is within the document. So it's incumbent upon you also to take up that challenge, even as we are looking